In today's video, I'm going to look at the Alfawise H96 Mini versus the Beelink 6 4K Android TV boxes. We're going to shoot them out and see which one performs better, which one is faster, and overall which one gives you a better surfing experience. So as we compare the Beelink 6 to the Alfawise H96 Mini, both units are very similar. They both are 4K Android 7.1 TV boxes that can be loaded up with your favorite repositories to get the various programming. Both of them are connected to my monitor by HDMI, and there are some big differences between the two of them in terms of features, and I think you'll agree once we look at this one that the Alfawise is actually going to be the better of the two, as you're going to see. So right now we're looking at the output from the Beelink 6, and I'm just going to check some of my applications on here. We're going to load some new apps on here, and we'll load the same app onto the Alfawise here and see what we can do. So as you see, I've got a few apps loaded on here. I've got my Media Box Wizard, which is actually the one we're going to use, and I'm going to try and load up some programs from Terrarium TV, and we'll try a couple of the other apps on here. But the big difference between the two of them is you're going to see very quickly. What shall we try? Let me just get out of mouse mode and see if I can page myself around here. And one of the first things I noticed once I got on to the Alfawise was how quick it was at loading titles. This one here, this is the Beelink, and it actually is kind of sluggish when trying to load files. So as you can see, there's tons of stuff on here. If I pick SWAT from this one, let's just see whether this one actually will work on this one. And I gotta pick season. How do I do this? To go back to mouse mode. And I can pick season 1. And if I want to pick the pilot, this is one area that you'll see once I switch to the Alfawise how much faster it is, because I don't have to enter mouse mode constantly. And then I go down to where it says play down here, and mouse mode, and it should. And then I just pick one of the servers. It tells you, it's even telling me some servers are fast and some are slow. Play. Okay, it looks like it's going to play. I can't obviously show this because we'll get hit with a copyright strike, but this was obviously taken off of Global TV. I'm just putting my hand in front of here so that we don't get a match, right? If I don't get a content ID match. So with my TV remote, I'm going to switch over to HDMI 1, which is way over the other way. Oh, I can't do that yet. I have to plug the power in. This thing looks an awful lot like the other one. This one's called the H96 Mini, the Alfawise. But this M box, this looks an awful lot like that other 4K box that I checked out a while back. In fact, it looks so much like it that it even uses the same remote control. But here we go. But this one appears to have Netflix on it, whereas the Beelink does not. So let's go log into Netflix and see whether Netflix works. Now I'm actually gonna log this. What? We can't reach that. Oh, you know what? Of course not. Oh, I have to set my Wi-Fi network up here. So that's not going to work until I actually go in and set this thing up. So let me go down here to my settings, and I'm going to connect this to my network. So first thing we do is we select network, and then we're going to find a network that we're going to select. So I'm going to select my network and put in my password, and then we're going to try Netflix. I have now connected to the network. Let's see, does Netflix work on the Alfawise? Remember, it wasn't available for the Beelink, but Netflix is available for this one. there should be a place to sign in for an existing. Oh, up at the top. Dope. Let's go up to the top of the screen here where it says sign in. Sign in. Ah, okay. Hey, this one's got download and go features, but we're not going to do that. But you could actually download and I think play this thing offline. Okay, it's looks like it's going to work here. Let's just see what I can find on this thing. So looks like the regular stuff. Let's just see here what I can play. One of my favorite shows that I've watched on Netflix has got to be Narcos. Everybody's favorite show, right? Let's just see if it plays. So I'll go over here and we'll go up to episode 1, season 1, and just go up there, and so now it's going to play. And of course we'll have sound. I have it turned off. I think I can probably put this part on without getting in any trouble. Okay, I can another 6 or 7 seconds and we'll have to stop it again. So watching it here, yes, it's working great. It's playing in HD and I haven't seen any frames drop on it as of yet. So there we go, the Alfawise H96 Mini, it is playing Netflix. Let's just bail out of Netflix here and well, let's try some of the other built-in apps. Let's try YouTube. I know I can play something off YouTube. And then we'll try loading an APK on this thing. Okay, I just searched one out here. I think we can play this one okay.
Now this is a brand new module that was DOA out of the box, and we have some really nasty distortion. So let's put it up on the scope and we'll do some tests on this thing. Just take a look at how bad this is, and I'm being sent another replacement to actually do a review on. So let's just do a quick review of this bad one and see how they're not supposed to work.
So on this board here, this is another 100. So this is playing back some of my own content off of YouTube, and yeah, it's looking okay. Seems to be playing it okay. I was gonna look for some 4K content, even though this TV is not a 4K set. I want to see whether this box here will actually display 4K content. So let me just search out one of my videos that are in 4K on YouTube. So I've searched out my Oregon Coast video. This was shot in 4K and it is in YouTube on 4K. Now this not being a 4K TV, it won't display it in 4K, but it should kick in. If this can display 4K, this thing should receive the stream. I'll have to take this and try this on my 4K television to see whether it's able to receive the 4K signal, which I'll do shortly. But it's certainly playing good there. What I have noticed is it's got the time on the screen, and that hasn't gone away. And it looks like if I go to video quality, it's only going to support up to 1080p from YouTube. To set the time zone, just go to settings, go to your date and time, and you can use automatic date and time and set your time zone. And I'm going to use Los Angeles. I've already done this, right? But because I'm in the same time zone as Los Angeles, then you can select either 24-hour time or 12-hour time, your preference. That's how you set the time on here. I want to try and load some apps. So if I go to apps, it's got these ones built in. And I want to try and add some of the apps that I've got on here. So let's load the USB stick. and see whether I can find the USB stick. My files. External storage. That would be the one. Now the last one I installed Media Box Wizard. So I'm going to go down to Media Box Wizard. This is actually easy, really easy to do this here. Yes, I want to install this. How do I do it? I got to go down to where it says install. So I'm going to go all the way down. I like my defective Samsung TV, right? You see? That's my defective screen. It's got some problems with the backlights that you see. That's why it looks like it's darker here, because it's got some backlight problems. That's why I got this TV for free, because it was unacceptable. The Media Box Wizard will allow me to install some apps, movies and TV shows, for example, and Kodi APK. So we'll go up to movies and TV shows, because this is where I installed the other one from. What was it? It was Tuarium, I think, is the one that I installed. But you can install multiple ones, but I'll just do Tuarium on here. Just for the heck of it, and then we'll compare the Tuarium on this Alfawise to the Beelink. We'll try playing this. This is so slow. I hate having to do this. Of course, if you plug an optical mouse into here, a wireless mouse, it'll be a lot quicker than using the remote control. But of course, the advantage to press the play button. Oh, long press of the play button, yeah. I'll just pick it off of one of the different servers. This one's in 720p. And there we go. It's going to play this one now too. Wave my hand in front of here so I don't I'll block his face. How's that? That'll stop me from getting a copyright strike. Anyway, there we go. That one's playing. Just like the other player, I can search through here. This is nice and fast. Let's go back to the other one and we'll see how quick it is by comparison. Now that everything's installed on there, you can see how quick this thing searches. If I go to Game of Thrones, for example, and pick the season, I haven't seen any of this, so I don't know any of the series. And I should be able to just click play, and there we go. Took a second to show up there. And we just pick a server. Obviously, the larger the file, the higher the quality generally is. Don't want to get nailed. So now I'm switching sources to the other player. Now we're back onto the Beelink 6. And I'll go back in, press OK on here. I'm just going to back up. And I'm going to go back. And we'll see how quick this one can search things out. I got to go back into... I'm in mouse mode now. Let's go back into... As you can see, this one doesn't appear to be quite as fast as the other one. But I'm sure I can find Game of Thrones. Here we go. Game of Thrones. I'll select the same thing on here. Season. I don't like the interface nearly as much on this one because the other one I could just click the right arrow and go right into the season. On this one I have to go into mouse mode. Select the season. Right, and then go to season number 1. And on this one, I can and just go down, I think, and press the play button. Or do I do the one at the top? There we go. Gotta wait for it to load. I'll pick the same server as before, which is this one here. And play. And there you go, it plays off this one too. And that should disappear after a few seconds, which it does. We don't have any of the annoying, as you can see, there's nothing on the screen here other than the program. I'll switch back to the other one. This is now the Alfawise, and I'm just going to switch sources here just so you guys can see that both of them are playing at the same time. They both have about the same picture quality. They're both in 1920 by 1080 at 60i. While the video is playing, you can use the remote control to skip ahead. It'll skip you ahead 10 seconds at a time, or skip back 10 seconds at a time. That's the Alfawise. Let's try the other one. So there are some differences on the Beelink. If I press the arrow key, for example, it'll take me into fast forward, and then it'll continue to go and fast forward. It'll skip ahead that way, right? Every time I press the OK key, it will skip ahead. And then to get out of that, I have to hit the back key. And then I'm back to playback. I think the Alfawise is a little easier. It's a little bit faster, I think, too. Just at selecting stuff, it's really quick. Right? Go to the flash, for example. And just the fact that I can just navigate over, I don't have to go into, I don't have to go into the mouse mode here. I can just select season. And it gives me the program. So if I want to go to season 2, right, and then I can select whichever episode I want. Select it. It'll take me right up to there, and then to play that, I just go up, and I have to. Where's my play button on here? If I press and hold, it should go into play. If I press and hold the OK key, it should now bring up my menu. I just have to be patient for it. So I think this one here is a little quicker at loading, you see. So I pick my file and then pick play, and it starts playing. And that's the Alfawise, right? To get out of that, I'll go back out of it. I'm just going to press my return key here to get out of it. Okay, so if I hit my back key again, you know, to if I want to pick a different episode, if I press my back key one more time here, if I want to pick a different program, say I'm scrolling through here, and I want to play Breaking Bad. I'm just picking something here, but I mean I can pick anything here. So I'll pick It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What the heck? Because there's a bunch of seasons on this. Overview, season. Okay, got a bunch of seasons here. I'll pick season 11. And then I can just pick whichever episode I want. I'll say episode 8. I press the OK key, and then I select it, and I just press and hold OK. Then it should come up with my server. I pick the server I want to watch it from. I select OK. I select OK to play, and it starts playing. And there we go. Program starts playing. And I'm going to go back to the main menu on here. So I'm just hitting the back key. And this is back to my main screen here. If I just keep going back, I will end up back on the main menu. This is where I can pick my YouTube or Netflix. And where did my app go? It should be in, I think it goes under apps. It should be, there it is, Media Box Wizard. So that's where I install, that's where I have it. And then I can just go and pick whichever I want from there. If I want to play a file, I can go down here to click the play button, and then I can bring up external storage and any files that you've got. store it on your SD card or your hard drive, you can just play immediately. This is a 4K file that's playing here in, of course, HD on this set. But this is a 4K file that's on this memory stick. Another thing, another difference that we're going to find between the two of them, if I go back to this other one, the Beelink, and I plug in my 128 gig exFAT formatted memory, am I able to play it? Let's see whether I can find it first of all. Files Explorer. I don't even see it. Why? Because this doesn't support anything other than FAT32. And I've tried putting in the Microsoft exFAT driver, and it still doesn't see it. So the Beelink 6 does not see my Lexer memory card. Let's try it on the Alfawise. So 128 gig memory stick. We'll go over to play files. Where are we here? Play. And there it is, Lexar. And here's all my files. These are all kinds of stuff that's recorded in 4K. All this is 4K. Here's one that's encoded at 100 megabits. Let's see whether this thing can handle a 100 megabit stream. Looks like it's handling a 100 megabit stream, no problem at all. Wow. That's a tough order, because this file was shot and encoded at the maximum bit rate that my equipment is capable of encoding at 100 megabits. My camera records at 100 megabits, and this was encoded at 100 megabits 4K. And this is pretty much the acid test. I think when I tried playing a file at 100 megabits on this one, in fact, I know if we go back and look at the other video that I did on this other, the Beelink, that it did not play it. It was breaking up like crazy. And here we go. The Alfawise H96 Mini is playing this file perfectly. Well, here's something I wasn't expecting at all. I plugged this into my Samsung Smart TV, and my Samsung Smart Remote is controlling this box. I'm doing this from my Samsung Remote. Which, is it doing it over Bluetooth? This might even be doing it over Bluetooth. Let's see if I move out of the room, whether this thing will actually still control it. I'll just stick the remote outside here. And I'm controlling this over Bluetooth. Check that out. I got the remote control outside the door, away from the TV. So if you've got one of these smart Samsung TVs with the smart remote, the universal remote, this Alfawise box will work right from the smart remote. Interesting. If I go down to my file browser and select my files, looks to be playing it flawlessly. Let's go check our resolution. Let me back up here. Oh yes, 3840 by 2160, 60p. So it is showing me it in 4K. So let's go and look at YouTube and see if it will play YouTube in 4K. There we go. Question is it going to kick up into 4K? The only thing is playing YouTube, it's got this frame around it. You see? It's got the frame down at the bottom. I wonder if I can get rid of that. Quality. No, it's only playing it in 1080p. So looks like YouTube is restricted to 1080p. It still looks good, but it's not playing it in 4K. Yeah, that's just the way it is on YouTube. But if I go back to the actual files on my memory stick, and the same thing would work if you were on a hard drive, because this is encoded as a exFAT. But as you can see, the detail is much better. I guess you guys can't see the detail as much better because I'm only recording this in 1080 on the camera. But I can see the detail. I can see the detail in the rocks here at the bottom of the screen. This is playing in 4K. Okay, I've gone and I've put some photos on here. I want to see what the photo frame or photo table do. And it now sees my folder. So I should be able to my back key here and go start now. I want to see how this is going to do this. So it looks like it's just going to show one photo at a time. So there it's showing the photos. Again, we have the menu bar at the bottom of the screen there. I'm just going to try the other, that's photo frame. Let's try this one, photo table, and try that and see whether that does any different. Okay, start now. See what this one does. Ah, okay. Now this actually looks nice. It's just going to start picking photos at random and throwing them on the screen as a screensaver. I like that. Okay, after 5 minutes, it starts playing on its own. Just going to see whether this is going to stop after putting 5 photos up like it did when I was in the preview, or whether it will just keep throwing photos on the screen, which it technically should. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it does. They sit there for about a minute, and then it starts throwing some more photos down, as we'll watch it here. If I click around, I can click onto any of those photos, and then if I click on the OK button, it'll bring them up to full screen. And I can, using the left and right arrow keys, I can navigate back and forth. If I hit the return key, it should take me back out of that for now. Now, if I go to, where was it here? I believe it's under video. No, it's not under video. Apps. If I go into KDMC, this is like an XBMC equivalent running under Krypton. If I go down to pictures, XR, I should be able to photos, I should be able to hit the slideshow on this. There we go, view slideshow. This should, here we go. Now this is more like it. This is the type that I like to see, slides like this, where the software will just pick photos at random and actually move them across the screen. This is my idea of a slideshow. And this is doing it perfect. See, now that's something I could put on my TV and just leave it running in the background and have my photos being displayed in 4K is a background video. And the picture quality here is spectacular. Now if we go back to the main menu and I go to videos, as you can see, this is already preloaded with a lot of the XPMC. I haven't tried any of these, but it's loaded with some of the XPMC content. And obviously you can certainly download more files for XPMC, and it'll play the photos here as well. Oh, I guess I'm in the video player. If I click on here, it'll play video through XPMC. Here's something interesting. If you press the OK button while the picture's showing, it'll rotate it. So you can turn it upside down, or if your photos are displayed the wrong direction, you can turn them around. But here we are back in photo slideshow mode again, and as you can see, it'll just scan the photos and then move to the next one. And the quality is excellent when it's looking at photos. Anyway, that's a quick look at this. I've gone on far too long. This is the Alfawise H96 Mini, and as you can see, it's feature-packed. It does everything. It does Netflix, it does YouTube, it plays 4K videos off of a memory stick or off of a hard drive. 2 thumbs up. This one here does everything, and I'm quite impressed with the quality. It's the best one I've used so far. Thanks for watching.